Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loca here. Join me today as I show you how I go about transplanting as well as dividing some of my bearded iris. So let's go. We're on the north side of my house and I planted these bearded iris here in 2018. They bloomed the first year after I planted them, and ever since then they have not bloomed. They're basically in a row. You can see some over here, and they go all the way down in a row. What I'm planning to do is dig them out of here, and we're going to put them into a sunnier location. There are different types of iris out there, like the Siberian iris, the Japanese iris, and they all have different light requirements as well as different times of the year when you should be dividing them. When it comes to the bearded iris, the best time to divide them is, believe it or not, in the middle of the summer. So anytime around the middle of July, middle of August. You want to make sure you research that a little bit depending on your zone. Here in New Hampshire, this is the perfect time for me to be doing this. It is now early August, and I want to make sure I give these iris enough time to establish themselves before our cold, harsh winters that we get here in our Zone 5B climate. In order to dig this iris up, I'm just going to be using a small hand shovel. You could use a large shovel if you like. One of the possible reasons why these iris did not bloom in this area is that they're not getting enough sun. They need full sun, which is about 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. Another possible reason why they didn't bloom is it could be that I had them planted a little too deep. When it comes to bearded iris, it is very important that you don't plant them too deep. I'll be showing you how deep I plan on planting these in their new location. Okay, let's go ahead and dig out the rest of these iris that are in this row right here, all the way to back behind me. All done. We have successfully dug out all of the iris that are in this bed over here. One thing I wanted to mention was I really have not paid attention to how many hours of sunlight this bed gets. I am pretty confident that half of this bed gets more sun than the other half. It is not out of the question that down the line, if I decide, I can try iris again in this bed. I just need to be mindful of the light because the iris do need 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. And I also need to be mindful of the depth that I plant the iris. I suspect I had them planted a little too deep. But for right now, we're going to take them out of this area. I want us to count up how many iris we just dug out. We ended up with a ton of these bearded iris. I'm very excited about that. And what I'm going to do is just show you a couple of things that I like to do with my iris just for the overall health and care of them. So the first thing is, since we have dug these out of the ground, and you can see they have a nice root system to them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them back to about 6 inches. And I'm going to do it in the shape of a fan. The reason that I'm doing this is because, first of all, I want to make sure I leave some green here so that it continues to photosynthesize and feed this tuber for next year. The other reason that I've cut it back to about 6 inches is because once I plant it, if I was to leave all the leaves on here and they were really tall, what would happen is, due to this plant being planted at a very shallow depth, it's more apt to fall over in the wind. So we want to avoid that. So by doing this, this just gives a kind of like some aerodynamics to help it be sturdy and to continue standing. So let me go ahead and cut the rest of these iris back just like this one. So before we go forward with counting up how many iris we're going to get planting today, I wanted to show you a few more things. Right here, you can see that the roots are all in the back here, and towards the front there are no roots, and it's just kind of this long piece here. What that is that's last year's growth, and this is this year's growth. It is absolutely okay and recommended that we cut that off for a number of reasons. That old piece will never do anything. And when it comes to planting this new piece, it'll be a lot easier to plant it without that long piece sticking out in the front of it. And when it comes to the leaves on the iris, if we count them, if there are about 7 leaves, it is very likely that that plant will bloom that year. When there's only 2 or 3 leaves, it's a younger plant and it will not most likely bloom. And this has to do with, particularly when we're talking about the bearded iris. So just keep that in mind. Although I can tell you none of these bloomed, and that tells me there was something wrong again with the depth of the iris, or that they were not getting enough sun. Here's another example of something else I wanted to share with you. Oftentimes what iris do is they start clumping around the old growth, the old piece that we're going to be cutting off. So you might see them in a kind of a circular fashion growing around that piece in the center. So that tells you it's time to dig out that whole clump and divide them. Typically you want to divide your iris every about 4 or 5 years. So what we're going to do here is we can break them apart just with our hand, just like that. Or if you wanted to, you could also use some sort of hand cutters and you can cut them that way. But they are pretty easy to just pull apart like that. So now we have 3 different iris that we can plant. Here's another example of iris that I can divide. Again, I can break them apart, or I can just cut right here. Here's another example of last year's growth right here. And notice the roots here are a nice tan color, and the ones up here are kind of old looking, they're brown. So I can actually cut it way back here. The nice thing about iris are they're actually very forgiving, very resilient. As long as you just do the basic things that you need to do to them, which is divide them every 4 or 5 years. You don't plant this type of iris too deep. And also make sure that they are planted in an area where the water can easily drain. You don't want them sitting in water. There's another one that I can divide. And remember, after the iris have bloomed, you want to keep the green on them. You don't want to cut them all the way down to the ground. You want to make sure you're feeding the tuber for next year. Here's an example of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one should bloom next year. Fingers crossed. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I don't want you to miss out on these iris and what they're going to look like next year, because it's going to be a surprise for both you and I. And the final example here, here's last year's growth that we're going to cut off, and here are 2 good pieces that we can divide off of it. Actually, here are 3 good pieces we can divide off of it. Here's the fun part. Let's see how many iris we dug up out of that bed in the back of my yard. And last but not least, 61. That is a lot of iris. I believe in 2018, when I dug these up for my mother-in-law's house, maybe I dug up 10, I'm not sure. So I'm pretty pleased with how many I have here. And I'm more than pleased that we dug these up, and we're going to give them a really good chance at life now. In one sense, I view where they were before totally fine. Even though I couldn't enjoy them and see how beautiful they looked because they didn't bloom for me, they were still alive. They came back year after year. They even multiplied. So I'm happy with that. And now that I have the time and I have the space, I can properly put them in a new good location where they're going to thrive, bloom, and continue to grow. I do this often when I'm digging out plants and dividing them, and I have too much of a plant. I don't have the time to plant everything back in a new location. What I end up doing is temporarily putting it in a spot. In this case, I'm out in my barn. It's covered, it's nice and cool, so the sun's not hitting it. And I basically laid out all the iris. And the roots are all down here. I just put some dirt, I gave it a little bit of water, and these are going to be fine until I get them planted out in the landscape. It might take me a day, maybe 2 days. These will be totally fine out here. I want to know, do you ever do that when you're working with plants? If not, try this method. It's a good idea, and that way you're not overstressed about getting all of these planted in one sitting. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you how to plant a few of these out in my landscape. So what you want to do is you want to plant it deep enough so that the roots are under the ground or in the soil, but not too deep, because you want to be able to expose this part of the iris. That's very important. This rule is true when you're working with this variety of iris, which is a bearded iris. So let's go ahead and dig a hole. There are different ways to do this method. I pretty much do a very simple method that seems to work for me. I like to bunch the roots, put them in the ground like that, make sure they're all in, and then I like to backfill. And some people like to have this part towards the front, some people like it towards the back. It's just a personal preference. And you're basically backfilling, making sure that those roots are in the soil. And that's it. I typically like to plant them in groupings of odd numbers, so 3 or 5. And generally speaking, you want to plant them about 10 inches apart from each other. This might be closer than 10 inches, but for the purpose of the video, since I'm doing everything nice and close up for you, it's okay if it's a little bit closer than that measurement. So again, I want this exposed, the top part, and I'm going to backfill. And the key is, on a windy day, you don't want this to fall over. All right, let's do one over here. And since I have so many iris, there are going to be a few places in my garden where I'm planning to put these iris. I'm very excited about that. You know, I've never tried this, but something worth experimenting with is if you have landscape staples and you want to ensure that your iris is not going to fall over because the roots are still trying to establish themselves, one thing you could possibly try is try using landscape staples to just kind of hold down your iris in place as the roots are establishing themselves for the season. Like I said, I've never done it, but it might work. And I typically like to check my iris after I plant them. I do like to just check them and make sure that they are still good and they're not, that they haven't fallen over. I know in previous years I've had critters come along. They see that the soil's been disturbed and then they topple over one of my iris. So you definitely want to keep an eye on that. And you can see that I've planted them all kind of facing the same direction here. You can also experiment with that. Maybe you don't want them all facing the same direction. Maybe you want them facing different directions. Again, it's a personal preference. And all done. I still have a lot more to plant, but for the purposes of this video, I just wanted to plant these 5. And over the next day or two, I'm going to be working around my yard. First, I'm going to tackle this bed and plant a bunch in this bed. I know I'm still going to have many left over, so then I'll just keep planting more iris in my other beds that get full sunlight. I hope you learned something from this. If you haven't already thought about it, start thinking about getting your iris divided and moved around. This is the time to do it, especially for this variety of iris. I hope you're enjoying your gardens as much as I am. And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.